I mean, I kind of bring it back to where I was when I was a freshman coming in at South Dakota State, and I ended up winning the starting job there, and I was a freshman. I didn't know anybody. I had to go build those relationships, and kind of taking that same approach here, building those relationships, not stepping too far out of my boundary, and trying to build that camaraderie, hang around with the guys on the team. And once you build those relationships and build that rapport, you can kind of start holding people accountable. They'll start holding you accountable. It makes everyone better. That level of competition around the team rises up, and I'm able to, again, start speaking in front of the team, start talking to more guys, and have that outreach amongst everybody.
Who'd you take to Dallas? Can you disclose that?
I mean, there's pictures up on my Instagram of it. But I took down Addison Estranga, KJ Parker, Sam Phillips, and then Jacob Gill. So it was a good time hanging with those guys.
Specifically, how much did that help?
It was good. I mean, I went down there, worked with my QB coach, Jeff Christensen.
Okay.
He works with a bunch of other NFL guys, and it was really good and beneficial for me, just kind of getting that rhythm back throwing-wise. You're going to forget getting that rhythm back throwing-wise, and then even just getting that rhythm with those guys too.
Did Jeff tell you anything about Iowa, going back to your high school day? I know you've known him for a while, and Jake was obviously here.
Yeah. I mean, he told me a couple things, and I mean, Jake had a different kind of experience here for sure. It had ups and downs, but I mean, he said he's going to be cheering for me through and through, and he's happy I ended up at Iowa.
You went on an O-line trip, too. So you've been kind of traveling.
Yeah. I went out. Me and the O-line ended up going down to the Ozarks. It was a lot of fun. Again, just building those relationships, like I was saying before, is one of the most important things to any football team. And if you can have a closer team than the team across from you, you're going to win a lot more games.
It seems like, I mean, you've played in a lot of really big games, that having those bonds, that chemistry when it's cold, it's a tough game, everybody's hurting, that they're kind of fighting for each other. Is that what you've experienced in the past and why you were so successful where you were, and then how that can parlay to something?
100%, because you're playing for the guy next to you, and that's the most important thing, and it's not just for yourself, because when you're playing for that guy next to you, you guys have that synergy. It's like the two horses can pull a lot more weight than just one by itself, or like two by itself. And even with this team right now, trying to build the camaraderie between the offense and defense. With my past teams, the offense and defense were so close together that, okay, the offense is struggling one day, defense is going to have our back. The defense is struggling one day, offense is going to have our back. Same with the special teams. So just having that camaraderie amongst the entire team has really helped in the past, and hopefully we can get that going here.
How much have you talked to Adam Bob about this place?
I've talked to him a lot. You know, I mean, he grew up in Solon, and he grew up being a Hawkeye fan his entire life. And I mean, I've hung out with him a couple times this summer, and it's been good to see him, and good to see him get an opportunity in the NFL with the Buccaneers for a little bit, and hoping another opportunity comes from here soon.
Fall camp's just almost here now. So what are your emotions now? You got here, what, in January?
Yeah,
right?
January, yeah.
Like, now it's getting close, so how are you feeling?
Gosh, I'm excited. I mean, I love playing football. I love being out there with the guys, and I mean, we're playing a kid's game out there, and why not just go out there and have fun every single day that you're with the guys? It's my last one in college, so just go out there, really enjoy every single moment, and enjoy every practice.
Do you feel ready, I guess, with the offense? I mean,
Oh.
where are you at comfortable?
Yeah, I feel 100% comfortable with the offense right now, and I mean, just working with Coach Lester and even the other quarterbacks, receivers, and just spending a lot of time on my own watching film, studying. I feel really good with the offense, and I mean, even this week we're just kind of doing our own prep because the coaches are all on their vacations this week and stuff. So quarterbacks kind of had to do the play calls this week, which was really fun.
Mark, have you heard any feedback in terms of your style of play or the way you throw a ball? I was talking to Jazz, and he was like, "Man, Mark throws the ball hard compared to how the guys he's played with so far." Is that something you've heard, or anything else you hear from the guys that you've thrown the ball to?
I meeen, a lot of guys that I've been talking to, at least in the team, they have been kind of saying that I throw a little bit harder, and just kind of trying to have that balance of when I need to throw the ball hard, when I need to get the ball in a little bit lighter and make it easier for our guys to catch. But there's been some throws that some guys have been impressed with, which has been cool to see, I guess.
Mark, going from a place regulate yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have to kind of regulate yourself in terms of how many balls you throw, because you had all that time off, you kind of wanted to just go, and you got to maybe work yourself back in?
Yeah, and that's part of the full progression of coming back from any injury. And I mean, to start off the summer, I was trying to limit myself, trying not to have that soreness in the shoulder, kind of just like a pitcher coming back from pitching 3 days ago, you know, like they're trying to warm back up into it. But now I'm full go. I'm throwing every single day, just trying to get ready for fall camp.
Mark, in terms of making the transition from South Dakota State to here, being at SDSU, I mean, you kind of have the cream of the crop in the FCS. Offensively, it's a little bit different here, the level of competition. I guess, what's that transition been like to go from peak talent to maybe transition into Iowa where it's a little bit different?
Yeah, and we're playing against one of the top defenses in the country every single day at practice, which makes it a lot more fun for me because trying to learn their scheme, trying to understand the guys and how they play. It's been really fun competing against Xavier at safety every single day, and when we talk after practice, kind of going back and forth about just like, oh, I got you there, and kind of stuff like that. So it's been fun to compete against them, but the biggest difference is kind of the speed of the defense right now, and just getting those reps in practice, being able to see it all spring has really helped it, and I feel really comfortable with the game right now.
And what is Coach Lester, what was kind of his pitch to you to come here? Why? How do you fit into his system?
Yeah, and playing at South Dakota State, we kind of had a very similar pro-style offense, a lot of motions, a lot of just top-down reads, a lot of field reads all the way across, and just having the kind of similarity there. And then also him kind of telling me that this is like the Packers offense pretty much. We're kind of bringing the NFL-style offense, the Shanahan system over here, which kind of helps me get into that next level. And then him just being a quarterback in the past and him being able to teach me and bring my game to another level, and not only just on the field but mentally and in the film room as well.
Take me through your pre-snap process when you guys have motion versus when you don't. What are you looking for? How often can you diagnose what they have even before the ball snaps?
Yeah, I mean, the motions help a ton, because if you see guys moving and running with the motions across the ball, you kind of already know the coverage. It's going to be man coverage there. If they're just bumping across the field, you know it's going to be a zone coverage. And any time that we have motions on the field, the defense has to talk. And any time the defense has to communicate more, there's a possibility that more guys get confused over there, even though that we know exactly what we're doing on our side. So as much as we can confuse the defense, it's going to benefit us more. When you look at a zone read when you're doing something like that, is that, and you're seeing them, okay, they now, with the linebacker moving slightly because the tight end moved over, that probably creates a hole here instead of throwing a slant, now I'm going to hand it off. I mean, how often can you do that in this offense? We're doing it almost, at least not the running aspect of things, but there's so many aspects of this offense that are man reads, zone reads, trying to basically, if you see zone, we're going to try and move a linebacker because they know that they're looking at our eyes. So if we can be able to manipulate a linebacker, we're going to be able to throw it behind his head, complete it for a good gain. And even just in the RPO world, almost all our runs are going to have an RPO tag for it, just in case the defense is bringing some sort of pressure and has that ability to relieve us of that pressure, really.
You are probably one of the older guys on the team.
Second oldest.
Is that right?
Yeah, second.
Who's older than you?
Ethan Herkett.
Okay.
Yeah. Logan Jones, I got him by like a couple days.
Even still, do you remember much of watching the Mannings play NFL football?
I do. I remember. I feel like this is one of my earliest memories. I was a Bears fan growing up, so the Bears played the Colts in like '06 in the Super Bowl. Hester had that kickoff return to start off the game, and then Peyton Manning broke our hearts. So as Bears fans, but no, I remember watching them growing up, and even just Eli playing for the Giants and having all those Super Bowls against the Patriots. And I always liked those guys growing up. I was big fans.
Is there ever a moment, even when you go to a thing like the Manning passing camp, that you get a little starstruck playing with guys like that or being around guys like that?
Yeah, and it was nice being there for a second time this year. Last year, it was kind of like, holy cow, these are the Mannings. Like, these are powerful people in just sports media, the sports world in general. But they have a lot of knowledge and a lot of great things to learn from. And this year it was very easy to just go up to them and ask them questions and try to learn as much as possible from them.
Can you tell me main things you took away from the Manning camp?
Some of the things is just like the pre-snap read and just how they do that, which it kind of just the progression of where they're looking on the field to try and understand coverages, diagnose blitzes that are coming based on just defensive line alignment, which sometimes I don't even pay attention to because I'm more worried about the secondary, more worried about the backers. But one of the big things that I really like that Peyton always did with his receivers is instead of running 10, 15 routes while you're throwing routes to receivers, maybe run like 3 and run them over and over again so you master them. And you choose that day, we master it that day. Then the next day we come back out, choose 3 more routes, master those routes, and kind of continuously doing that throughout the week and then come back and do it again the following week.
Do you actually remember that Super Bowl?
Yeah, I do. That's probably my earliest. I was probably 5 years old, 4 years old. That was probably like one of my earliest memories, at least for football-wise.
Yeah.
Does Dallas Clark say anything to you?
Yeah, I think he's going to be in this golf tournament on Friday. But he came out to a couple practices during spring ball, and it was good talking with him. And we kind of just talked a little bit. Nothing about football really, just more about life in general.
With now that you actually get a chance to work with Tim Lester instead of doing a recruiting pitch, is there anything that's kind of surprised you about the way he goes about things, or has it just been kind of exactly what you expected?
Yeah, and that's what's so great about the recruiting process with Iowa is everything they talked about, everything they quote unquote promised. They didn't really promise anything, but it's been exactly the same. And it's been really great to see, and Lester always brings a ton of energy, and when I had that meeting with him during our recruiting time, he had that same energy throughout. So it doesn't ever falter. He has his cup of coffee in the morning, and he's ready to go every single day.
You also have some good analysts that are working with you, like Warren Gerald, guys like that. What have they brought to the table?
Yeah, and it's been really great to see with Warren and him being a former OC, and even bringing in Hecklinski and kind of learning how Warren goes about things. But I mean, when Coach Lester's not here, or he's in meetings that he has to be in for being an OC, it's great that we can go meet with Warren whenever we want to, and have that ability to continuously learn from a high-level coach and knows a lot about football, and it's been great to have him around.
You played, even though you didn't play in the Big Ten, you played high-level football. I mean, I think your team and probably the Bison could have played certainly in a bowl, if not, won some major games against a lot of teams. What is it that people, whether it's here or everywhere, should know about where you came from, what you accomplished, and then also how high level those games and those teams were, and what does it say about the Dakota schools that they can be so competitive at the highest level?
Yeah, and I got to give it up. I'm going to give a good shout out to my Coach Stiglmeyer, former coach at SDSU, who kind of built that program up to where it is today. And it took a long time. It took a lot of the former players to grow it to that, and I got to thank a lot of them for it. But I mean, that's some high level football, and we go back to the two national championship teams we had. I mean, if you look at that team, 9 of the 11 guys ended up being on NFL rosters the following year. Me being one of them that's still in college, another guy just decided to be done with football. But I mean, you can't say that for a lot of college teams in the Division I level, FBS level. So just knowing that that's how high level of players that we were playing with and competing with kind of just says a lot right there.
How much media did you have for games at SDSU, and did you even have this much in Frisco?
Frisco was pretty similar to this, but just the media in Brookings, and it's kind of similar to Iowa in the sense that it's our pro team in South Dakota, but there's probably a quarter of the amount of people in South Dakota, so it was probably like a quarter of the media there too as well. So, but those guys have been great through my entire career and have been really helpful for me too. So.
And this was traditionally, it's been run-heavy offense. Coming in as a quarterback, is there a little bit of a desire from you to want to give the coaches the opportunity to change that a little bit?
Yeah, and that was a big part of the recruiting pitch for Lester and Coach Ferentz, and they want to be able to throw the ball more. They want to be a more multiple team. They want to be trying to be 50 pass, 50 run, and I think those are the best teams, and you can kind of see that in the NFL when they're able to run the ball effectively and pass the ball effectively, and then also trick the defense and run some play action. Like, those teams are really successful on offense and can score a lot of points, and that's what we're looking to do this year.
You were a guy who wasn't in the college football game last year. Is that like a dream come true for you to be
Gosh,
in the game this year?
that was really cool. They, I think you guys seen that picture of me with the Fu Manchu. I think they grabbed that and ended up giving me a goatee in the game. But I've been playing with Iowa a lot in the game. I started a dynasty, and it's been really fun playing with the team.
Are you pleased with your virtual avatar? Are you rated as you would want to be?
Hopefully this season we can change that and upgrade myself a little bit.
What do you think like between now, like you got fall camp coming? Like, what are you trying to just cram for the season? Are you trying to like recharge a little bit? Like, what is your next 3 weeks like?
Yeah, and the past week, this July break we had off, it was really a great time to just detox, hang out with family, hang out with a lot of friends, and now these next 2.5, 3 weeks, we're really just trying to grind, trying to get our level of conditioning, strength. Our mental game up to its highest level possible, and then we get another little break right before fall camp. So I'm just going to try and use that time to detox from football, because football season's a long season, and it can go through some tough times. So just making sure I have that a time to detox is going to be good.
You mentioned once Coach Lester gets his coffee, have you ever caught him before that first cup, and what's he like before the
No,
first
he
cup?
shows up every day with his cup of coffee ready to go, and I mean, he brings the energy to the meetings, and usually sometimes it's 6 a.m. All of us are tired, just woke up out of bed, and he's bringing it, and he gets the energy of the room going every day.
How much of a motivator is that to just start your day with that kind of energy from your coach?
It's good, and it kind of makes us like ready for the day, ready to play some football, and be excited to go out there and practice every day.
What's your longest meeting with him? I know it can go hours.
There was a time early spring, I think I was sitting in his room for 4.5 hours, and we went on from even just talking about him building his house to I don't even know, his high school team all the way to one of last year's games. So, I mean, we're all over the board, but we're getting a lot of stuff done in those meetings.
Mark, you ran the ball a decent amount at South Dakota State. Has that, again, talking about the transition from FCS to Power 4, are you talking about running the ball maybe a little bit less, take fewer hits? I guess, what's the conversation around that?
Yeah, and kind of the thought process at South Dakota State was run when we need to, when it gives us an advantage. And sometimes when teams are running one high defenses, that guy's technically marked for me. And if he's 15 yards off the ball and I'm only 5 yards off the ball, that's going to be pretty good gains every time. And so we're going to take advantage of it when we need to. And it was kind of good to see, Brendan Sullivan running the ball a little bit last year, so they're kind of getting used to a running quarterback. And we're going to implement it when we need to, but we're going to try and lay back when we don't need it as much.
Take two more. What's the relationship been like with Logan Jones? And athletically, he's a freak.
Yeah, he is a freak.
How have you guys built a bond, and then what do you kind of think of him so far as a center?
Yeah, he's been great. I hang out with him a lot. Hopefully we want to go golfing soon on his podcast that he put out. I'm waiting for that invite right now. But shoot, we built such a great relationship. I got an invite to his wedding this weekend, and congrats to him on getting married this weekend. And it's been really fun getting to know him, building those relationships, and got to have that center quarterback connection whenever you're on the field together. So I feel like we have that right now.
You've got Micah's golf tournament on Friday. You got Logan's wedding Saturday. Have you been told about Soul and Beef Days next Friday, a time-honored tradition?
I have, and it was actually one of my former tight ends at South Dakota State. He came here one year with Adam Bach, and he was trying to compete against Dunker and Logan Jones, Cade Pieper, and he ended up losing that one, but he said he was winning at one point, but it's kind of hard to believe when you're going against Dunker and those guys.
You going to be there for that?
I'll be there for that for sure.